Hi, I'm AnnMerle Feldman, founder of the Fierce Over 50 Gathering and author of Fierce Over 50. This is a really short session to give you a taste of what rest feels like for high achieving, exhausted women. And I am one. I am in recovery, and I designed this program for women like me who have worked all their lives, worked to exhaustion, and don't know how to rest. Why rest? Rest is essential to your nervous system. And many of us think that we just need more exercise, that the pain in our neck and our shoulders and our headaches and our incessant thought patterns, often in the middle of the night, are the result of not enough exercise. But in fact, what we need to do first and foremost is calm our nervous system. And then we can move our bodies, learn to build strength, which we, of course, need to do. So, this is the shortest possible piece I put together for you and combines myofascial self massage, breath, and relaxation. The myofascial self massage and breath work was taught to me by Jill Miller, and I have adapted it for women over 50. What will you need? First, some water. Let's hydrate. Then, if you have, oops, these balls go all over. If you have a yoga tune-up, tune-up fitness alpha ball, that's perfect. If not, a tennis ball on a block. You never want to use hard materials on your body, always soft. So first, let me introduce two things to you, your breath and your fascia. So first, let's just remind ourselves what a deep belly breath is, a breath that takes our emphasis out of our shoulders and out of this position and into our torso. So inhale, bring your hands to your belly, inhale, let your shoulders relax. I can feel mine still after all these years creeping up. So inhale, expand the ribs, and exhale out, ideally through the nose with a long exhale. Inhale into the belly, expand into the chest area, softening the neck and shoulders, exhaling out, ideally through the nose, and ideally twice as long as your inhale. If you can't inhale and exhale through your nose, that's okay. Do the best you can. And work with whatever breath pattern is best for you. Now, if you can do this, what I'd like you to do is take your hands and feel your calves. Use your thumbs, and are your calves tight? Are they rocky? What do you feel in there? Long, ropey, sinewy cords? Do you feel perhaps an adhesion, a big hard lump, and it's painful? This is your fascia that has over the years tightened up, dehydrated. But you don't hydrate it with water, you hydrate it with your breath. That's why the breath and our fascia will combine to bring us into a relaxation state. Oh, and one more thing that you're going to need is a journal. Forgot to mention, because coming to awareness after we do this practice is equally important for the integration of it into our lives and into our bodies. So you might find some spots you can rub straight up and down. There's no pattern, it's just you're searching, you're looking. And just try moving your ankles and feet, flexing them in all directions, and notice what's going on. One side may be different than the other. And so just keep going. And then Wouldn't you know, I get a phone call. All right, I'm going to turn it off and come right back. And then come down onto the floor. This is where we put it all together. Let me make sure that you can still see me. I will. There we go. And what I'd like you to do is, if you're using the tennis ball, put it on top of the block and you'll lay down and do this self-massage here. If you're using the Tune Up Fitness Alpha Ball, you can use that either on the floor or on the block, whatever is most comfortable for you. And as you can see, I've got my pants rolled up, my yoga pants rolled up so that my skin is exposed. You always want to do this on direct skin. Now here's the very simple process. First, just roll your leg across the ball and begin to notice that fascia speaking back to you. You can do a number of things here. You can turn your ankle in one way and then the other. You can dorsiflex and flex along. You can put your other leg on top to add more weight. And then you add the breath. And then you move it when you like, whenever you like, to the other leg. Notice the difference. So you're just taking some time for yourself, relaxing, occupying yourself by feeling into the place in your calf that is tight. This brings our emphasis into our body. We're now working in an embodied way rather than letting our traditional thoughts interrupt, making what's often called meditation impossible. As you release the fascia, you're actually communicating with your brain and saying, my body is safe. It's safe to relax. It's safe to rest. And as you're breathing and using this self-massage technique, you're feeling yourself. You're feeling your nervous system move from a heightened state of anxiety or fight or flight or having to feel like you always have to be doing something to a state of rest and digest. I can be here. I can take care of myself. I can let myself rest. And you'll learn, even though these balls do get away from you with one foot, you can move the ball to another spot and just relish that kind of hurt so good moment, knowing that you are feeding your fascia breath. You are feeding your fascia oxygen and blood flow. You are rehydrating them and regenerating them. I'd love for you to stay in this position without me talking. So I'm teaching you how to do this. You can come down on your mat and do this anytime. And then when your 10-minute timer goes off, so that you don't have to worry about what 10 minutes feels like, you come over onto your side and get up very gently. And I'd like you to then have some more water and journal. This is part of the integration process that changes your whole body set, not your mindset. And I'd like you to write two things. One, what did I notice about how I felt? And two, when could I integrate something like this into my day? Follow me on Substack, Instagram, on my newsletter, through my website, fierceover50.com, and read my book on Amazon or listen to it on Audible. Fierce Over 50. Let's connect.